Yo, what's up? I'm Josh, and I'm American, and I'm a black American, and I'm about to go off. Okay? I'm late to this whole situation, but now that I see it, man, bro, I just am hot right now. Like, I'm 38 hot right now. Let's get into it, man. This is Mr. E. You might have seen him from another video, and he has his take on why Japanese people are tired of this crap.
I'm Japanese, and I've got a real issue with the whole Dandadan fiasco. Yo, what's up everybody? Mr. E here once again. Alright, so this week has been kinda juicy. As you probably already know, there is this fan art that's going viral. Last I checked, the post has racked up a whopping 93 million views.
Damn.
93 million
Damn.
views.
That's a lot.
Wow. And it's still
That's a
blowing
lot.
up. And honestly, despite all the backlash it's getting, for me personally, the art itself isn't the biggest deal. I mean, sure, copying somebody else's work isn't great, but like, cool, do your thing, have fun. But the real issue is the vibe around it. People are out here claiming it's
Love this art. There's no such thing as blackwashing. It's another play because are upset black people in their spaces they consider theirs. Unfortunately, the hard ERs. Oh, that's crazy. Well, now I got some thoughts about this. I mean, this is pretty extreme. This is definitely extreme. I will say it's extreme. Yeah, it's extreme. Now, on one hand, I think blackwashing is like juxtaposed to whitewashing, and I have thoughts on whitewashing, but let's look at a little bit of this.
fixing anime because it adds blackness and black characters to the medium. Here's the thing though, fixing? Anime does not need a fixing, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like I can see if an artist said fixing, but here it's just some random person behind a username and a profile picture that's not their face.
It's already great the way it is. And honestly, these designs, they're barely different from the originals. It's like a straight up copy and paste. They just darken the skin and tweak the hair a little bit and call it a day.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what they did. I mean, they did a little bit more than that. They added the sweating. They changed a little bit of the textures on the face that you can see right here. Obviously, the blush here is a little bit different. So, I mean, they did a little bit more than copy and paste it, but obviously, if you weren't an artist, I can understand why you would think, oh, well, okay, you just kind of scribble. Like, it still takes artistic talent to do it, even though we think it's easy because it just looks so similar. I think that's kind of the point, though. I think they were paying homage to this. I don't think that this necessarily means that they need to be original. I think they just wanted to see the characters as being black, which is 100% okay because you can still identify this character as Okurun and Momo. Just black versions of Okurun and Momo. That's just really it.
I mean, where's the originality? Where's the respect for the OG creators? But wait, it gets even crazier.
And I actually think this fan art might even help draw eyes to the original work. I'm just saying.
The artist is actually charging people to blackwash characters. As you can see here, 15 bucks for black.
Okay, so the question is for a black edit, do you know who this character is? Do you know who this character is? If you don't, they're from Chainsaw Man. This is Denji and Power, and just black versions of Denji and Power. I don't know if they're blackwashing. So let's look at it a little bit more before I go in.
Black edit. They're making money off this. Is this even allowed? When this came to light, many said it's incredibly disrespectful to the original creator, and I gotta agree. Profiting off somebody else's art to push this kind of blackness agenda feels wrong to a lot of people.
Okay, man, what is a blackness agenda? Like, what is the agenda? It, like, I don't even know what the agenda is. Like, there's no conspiracy about people wanting to see their favorite characters imagined as them. And I mean, if you draw somebody else's character and just retexture everything and redo everything, then essentially it's almost like fair use, right? It's like fair use in America, and fair use is where you can use a piece of content as long as you're changing it enough to convey something different, or roughly that.
Look, in a capitalistic society, I'm all for people hustling and making money. But this kind of feels shady, you know? Then there's this trend of people straight up denying that blackwashing is even a thing. Like,
I don't think blackwashing exists. Now, maybe we can look up something. I had already looked it up here. Whitewashing. What does it say? Whitewashing is a discriminatory practice that involves replacing or eliminating people of color with white actors, models, or performers. It can also refer to portraying the past in a way that gives white people more prominence and minimizes or misrepresents non-white people. Now, here's something that I want to say about this, okay? Oh yeah, first let's go back to the types of ways that things can be whitewashing. It says it can include many forms: casting, history, music, or fashion. So here's my whole thing about this, right? My whole thing about this is, to be honest, I understand why this could be a problem in America. I can understand why this would be a problem in America. Black people here have been treated unfairly for a while. Okay? That's just what it is. You know, for this situation, I will say my definition, because this is not an official definition, it's just whatever. I think my definition of whitewashing something or blackwashing something or even Asian washing, any type of washing, okay? Any type of washing is when you have two components, all right? Those two components for me, and this might not apply to everybody, this definitely isn't this Google definition, but for me, it's a situation where you erase the history, number one, and number two, you have to present it as something completely different. I'll give you a perfect example. Boxer braids. Do y'all know what boxer braids are? For us black people, we've known them for years as cornrows. But when Kim Kardashian wore braids and called them boxer braids, it completely erased everything about cornrows because she introduced it to this new audience as boxer braids. Now everybody wants boxer braids. Everybody's looking up tutorials about boxer braids. But in reality, they're just cornrows. And the reason they're cornrows is because they look like cornrows and they're a protective hairstyle. And people were talking about this. Oh, boxer braids are just the new thing. When in reality, they're not a new thing. That is the definition to me of whitewashing. Because you took something, you erased its history and its cultural meaning, and then you put in something new. You put in something completely new. And now what's happening is you washed all the blackness out of it, and now it's whitewashed. I don't know if these anime characters are being whitewashed or blackwashed, I should say. I don't think they're being blackwashed based on this definition. And no, I'm not being biased. I just think in my experience, this is what I've seen and this is what I've experienced. You take something, you call it something new, and you completely erase the history of it. So now it's just this standalone thing, right? And I think, if we look at this, it says Blasian Ochako Uraraka. We all know Ochako is not black. She doesn't have any black in her. She's just Asian in the world of My Hero Academia. Okay? And so this to me doesn't meet the criteria of blackwashing. Alright? It's not the same with the boxer braids situation, where you call it boxer braids, but it's actually known as cornrows, but you completely erase the cornrows and just present it as boxer braids, and now it's this new craze, right? This is not what we're doing here. We're saying this is a reimagination of Ochako. And they're also saying MHA final volume, My Hero Academia. They're giving you the source material of where Ochako came from if you did not know who Ochako was. When you have something like boxer braids, they don't give you boxer braids came from cornrows anywhere. To the point where online, people are asking, are cornrows the same as boxer braids? Are boxer braids cornrows? That's what people are asking. Are box braids and cornrows the same thing? What were cornrows originally called? What is the proper term for cornrows? Like, are cornrows just Dutch braids? Like, you see how different things are coming of Like this whitewashing to the point that people have to ask questions about it. You have to Google this stuff because if you just see it in the media, they're going to represent it as something that it actually isn't. And this is why I can't really say that this is blackwashing, because we're giving you the source material. We're telling you that this is fan art because we all know that if you look up Ochako, she's Asian, she's not Blasian. So I don't agree with this being blackwashing something. And that's why people say blackwashing doesn't exist.
Like, huh? There is one post where somebody took an iconic My Hero Academia design, created by its original artist by the way, and used it to make a political statement. And honestly, that's just not cool. You're messing with somebody else's hard work to
I'm
push your own
I'm
narrative
trying
that
to
could
figure out
actually harm the
I'm trying to figure out where the political statement is. You know, blackwashing is not a political statement. It doesn't have anything to do with being. I don't know. I just don't. I don't understand that.
original creator's reputation. And that's not okay, man. But yo, not all reinterpretations are bad. Take that Brazilian Hatsune Miku fan art for example. She had darker skin and a unique cultural vibe. And guess what? Japanese fans absolutely loved it.
I mean, it's the same thing. Brazilian Miko, Blasian Ochako. Like, what's the difference? Like, what's really the difference here, bro? It's the same thing.
Why? Because no one was out here saying, oh, we are fixing Hatsune Miku or trying to push an agenda.
And that's the thing. It's like they're not looking at the artist. They're looking at the comments left under the artist's art. And I think that there needs to be a separation there. I think there needs to be a separation between what the artist is saying and what the artist is doing and what the people that like the art say and do.
It was just somebody having fun, being creative, and showing love for the character in their own way.
Everybody's having fun and being creative and showing love for the character in their own way. At no point in this video has he shown us the artist saying that I fixed Ochako. I fixed Ochako or I fixed the Don Don characters. They never said that. The artist never said that.
We could vibe with that because it came from a place of respect, not a place of trying to impose changes on our culture. Look, I've been in the West for almost a decade now. I get it, there's a totally different vibe when it comes to creativity, copyrights, and all those good stuff.
There is.
But still, if what you're doing might hurt the original creators, like, come on, maybe think it over.
I'm trying to figure out how could this harm the original creators? How could this harm them? Is it because they said blackwashing does not exist? You know, is it because of that? And I don't think they understand that the hairstyle is also like its own unique cultural thing. This is just a hairstyle that a lot of people can't copy. But hey, let's hear him out.
And this isn't even the first time this kind of drama has happened.
Okay.
Remember when that Japanese artist got slammed for slightly lightening a character's skin? Remember that? People were acting like he hated black skin or something.
And that's insane, bro. Like, I hate people like that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not like a woke person. I'm just a rational person. I don't like when people do stuff like this. This is crazy.
He got called out. And in the end, he ended up making an apology statement and shutting down the comment section after receiving tons of hateful messages. That was just insane. So when people say blackwash doesn't exist, but whitewashing is an ultimate evil, it just feels very hypocritical to me.
And that's the thing. It's like it feels hypocritical to him, a Japanese guy, and Japanese people. And the whole reason is because, well, they're not American. It's just some stuff that, like, a lot of people don't understand. And this is something that always went on. A lot of people just don't understand that, like, yeah, black people take whitewashing way more seriously because we've had pretty much our whole history erased since we got here. Like, a lot of black African American people can't identify a tribe in Africa where they might have originated from. So you don't know if you're West African or if you're Igbo or if you're from the Cape or if you're from the Ivory Coast. You don't know where your family comes from. They already whitewashed our history already. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, like, I mean, they got situations now where they're even teaching in schools that, oh, actually slaves were indentured servants. It's like, what? Again, that's another version of whitewashing history. Slaves were what? I mean, I don't even want to get into the religious stuff, but I mean, they have a lot of stuff. If you know, you know. But a lot of times, yes, we are misrepresented, and this is why they take whitewashing so personally. They take whitewashing so personally. You know, I mean, it's to the point where like even they had this brown paper bag test a long time ago, where you can pass as white or pass as this. Like this has been something that my grandparents had to experience. And what people don't understand is that I'm like 2 or 3 generations away from slavery. Like, think about that. Me in 2025, I am like 2 or 3 generations away from slavery. You know how close that is? You know? So, like, I understand why people act like it's the ultimate evil. Is it really that dramatic? Is that big of a deal? No. I think black people and Japanese people actually should just try to understand each other for real. Because the reality of the situation is this, bro. Blackwashing does exist, but I don't feel like it is coming with erasure of Japanese culture and Japanese people. And you cannot take these Twitter comments seriously and think that, hey, these people want to change, or black people want to change the way that, you know, y'all do things, because we don't. We actually love Japan.
To me and many Japanese people. We Japanese don't care about skin color. We just want to express characters in ways we think suit their roles. This whole whitewashing is bad, but blackwashing is a fine thing. It just comes off as a double standard, man. Where's the logic in that?
And the logic is that we're not erasing your cultural history by painting over a character and calling them the same name. That's where the logic is. I think that's where he's missing the point, is that we're not calling these anime characters something new. You know, we're not doing that. We're saying this is a rendition of this character, and you know who this character is, and we're not introducing it to anybody who doesn't know it. Whereas whitewashing is where they take a black thing and present it as something that white people do.
I'm not even trying to be sarcastic or anything. Like, for real, educate me because I genuinely don't get it. But
There you go, bro. I just educated you. That's the whole thing. We're not erasing the history of Japan. We're not erasing the history of the anime. We're not doing those things. But when you do it with um, with black people in America specifically, I don't know about Nigerians and Africa and all that other stuff, but they definitely will represent it as something different than what it actually is and what it's used for.
I get where the frustration comes from. There's been a long history of underrepresentation of black people in the media overall. For years, black audiences didn't see characters who looked like them, and when they did, it was often in stereotypical or negative ways. That's not okay, and it's great that this is starting to change.
And a big thing, a big thing of this was the Cleveland show. I think that's also a very whitewashed show. And the reason is because that show was written by a white dude and his interpretation of black people. So he did not have the experiences growing up. He did not have any of this stuff. And for whatever reason, it was a big deal because Cleveland, this black dude, wasn't accurate at all and did not resonate with the people that were black, because that's just not our experience. And they're representing this again to a way bigger demographic than we can ever communicate to. And the people that consume that media think, oh, black people are like this because I watched the Cleveland show. I definitely know what black people are like. They have to be like the Cleveland show, you know? And that's all the exposure they have to a black person. And so they have this caricature, and again, it misrepresents us, but we don't have any control over that media. Whereas in the blackwashing stuff, we're not misrepresenting these Japanese characters because everybody understands they're Japanese and where they came from. And we also can access that source material very readily and get an idea of what that character is if there were any misinterpretations. But look, man, this reaction is getting pretty long. It's already 20 minutes long, bro. I'm gonna end it right here. I want to know what you guys think. Let's continue the comment section conversation because, and the reality of the situation is like, bro, eh, is blackwashing the thing? I think it can be. Okay, I do think it can be. Are people being hypocritical about this whole thing? I don't know. Just because of my definition of what blackwashing and whitewashing is and the effect that it has. But again, people, this is not something that is a like a formal definition. This is like a cultural definition, and I think it can vary person to person. I can see why somebody would say, "Hey, you're blackwashing these characters by making our Japanese people black. You're taking away their Japanese." Like I definitely understand where they're coming from that perspective, and I also kind of understand people who are saying, "Hey, this is just fan art." The reality of the situation is, man, if you're one of these people going off in the comment sections of somebody's Twitter, bro, go touch grass. Like, go touch grass, bro, for real. Cause it's not that deep. These are all fictional characters, and we all want to have fun. We all enjoy anime. We all enjoy Japan. We need to go there and respect Japan and respect, well, whatever they got going on, and vice versa, which they do show a lot of respect to us and the hip hop culture. Like they show that respect. So I'm completely cool with it, you know what I'm saying? But I had to go off on this a little bit because, bruh, what? But y'all go finish watching that video, man. I'm going to link it down below. Again, let me know what y'all think, man. I'll see y'all boys next time, bro. Peace.